Hi guys,
Welcome back.
we are doing the Mary Celeste ghost ship. Dun, dun, dun.
Perfect for spooky season.
And it's all cloudy outside too where we are. It's super spooky. I keep waiting for like thunder and lightning or something.
Okay, we need a smile for our... Okay. We have to always do that, 'cause otherwise we're all...
All right, ready?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, this is Jenna.
And this is Heather.
And this is Conspiracies Unlocked. Spooky season. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm so ready.
So I was looking into ghost ships, and I was just going to do a couple ghost ships in general and just go over some for like spookiness because it's fun.
Yeah.
But I latched onto one, and this ship is fucking crazy. Like the history of it, and it's just like this cursed fucking ship. It's crazy. So I'll just get into it.
I'm like, why is it so cursed?
I'll tell you why. You really don't survive when you step a foot on it. Like, yeah. Anyways, okay. So the definition of a ghost ship is a boat or ship sailing vessel that is floating around the ocean with no living humans on board to like man it. So it's just like out in the ocean chilling by itself. Super spooky. It's like ghosts are running it. So while there are many like legends and stories surrounding ghost ships in general, like the Flying Dutchman is one. Mm-hmm. And that one was from, it's not from Pirates of the Caribbean. It really is like a folklore type of ghost ship, quote unquote. But it was in Pirates of the Caribbean as Davy Jones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that.
His ship.
Yeah.
So, even without the folklore and ghost stories and stuff like that, they are actually very real. And one real, super real one is the Mary Celeste. So let me get into the history of the Mary Celeste and before she became a ghost ship.
Yeah, so it was it was a real ship.
It's a real ship, 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So the Mary Celeste was not always named Mary Celeste. She was built in 1860 in Nova Scotia, Canada.
Oh, that's a fun one to say, Nova Scotia.
I know. I was trying to think of what episode we kept saying that on. We said it before and we kept saying it over and over again. We were like, Nova Scotia.
That was the very first Groundhog Day one.
Was that? Because it's in Canada. Oh my gosh, how
for
funny.
Warrington Willie and...
Yeah, we had so much fun.
What's his name?
Pexitani Phil. We had so much fun doing that one. So,
go back and listen to our very first one, and then come back and listen to our most recent.
Oh my gosh, it's night and day.
Yeah.
It only took us about 12 hours to record that first one. Do you remember
I couldn't
that?
even say a sentence.
No, we were like doing it sentence by sentence.
And no wonder we're like, Nova Scotia.
I know, we're going crazy. So anyways, so the ship was built at a shipyard in Nova Scotia owned by a Joshua Dewis, located in the Bay of Fundy. Mary Celeste, the ship had 2 masts and was built of timber. She was a brigantine ship. A brigantine ship is a term for a ship with 2 masts and 2 or more sails per mast. In the 13th century, they were used as warships. By the 17th century, they were used for merchant voyages and expeditions, so more like cargo ships.
Okay.
She's 99 feet long, 25 feet wide, and 11 feet deep. For this time period, it's a pretty big ship. It wasn't just a little dinghy out there.
Yeah.
Mary Celeste was built to carry cargo as a merchant ship. Her original owners were a group of 9 people. Joshua Dewis was one owner, and another one was Robert McClellan, which was also the ship's first captain. At this point, she was named Amazon by the group of owners. Her maiden voyage took place in June 1861. The Amazon sailed to a place called Five Islands, Nova Scotia. There, the Amazon was supposed to pick up some timber and take it across the Atlantic Ocean to London. And as soon as the timber was loaded, Captain McClellan got pneumonia. They took the ship back to their home port, where McClellan died. Right off the bat, first fatality.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh. I mean, yeah, so it's not like a morbid, like he got hung or something crazy, but
no,
still.
But he died.
He died. This would serve as the ship's first premonition of what was to come. Second captain was John Nutting Parker, who took over as captain and headed for London. kept on going
Yeah.
on their pathway, taking the
voyage
timber.
must continue.
Yeah, exactly. Just on this trip alone, she had several accidents and mishaps with other boats and was just overall an unlucky ship, to be honest. The ship was damaged on several different voyages. The captains were John Nutting Parker, and he lasted 2 years, 1863 until from 1861 when it started to 1863. Then the third captain, William Thompson, was 1863 to 1867. In October of 1867, the Amazon was run aground in Cow Bay, Cape Breton Island in Canada. So it was literally run aground. Mm-hmm. Then they and because of that, it was pretty much damaged. Like whenever that's like totaling a ship, it hit all of the rocks and everything, and so it just completely fucked up. So it could
have like punctures or holes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was just beaten up. I just don't think that the ship wanted to work. I think the ship just wanted to be left alone.
Well, maybe it was already starting to be cursed from that first death.
So this must have been like the last straw for the original owners, because they gave up and abandoned her where she crashed.
Oh.
Like, just
they
was
didn't
like,
even try to repair.
No.
Like, okay, you're done.
So Alexander McBeam acquired the wreck, and like, so more or less he like staked claim to it. So it's almost like when you abandon a car.
Oh.
And then a tow company comes, they take it to the tow yard or wherever, and then no one claims it, so then they end up taking it to like auction, and then it gets sold after X amount of days. It was kind of like that. So McBean sold the wreck ship in like an as-is condition to a businessman, who then sold it to an American mariner named Richard W. Haynes from New York. Haynes paid $1,750 for it and put another $8,825 restoring it.
Okay.
For nowadays money, that would have been, he paid $37,931 for it, and he restored it for $191,284.
Wow,
so
that's
it would have been
huge inflation right there.
$220,000 about total.
That's a lot of money.
$230,000 total. Yeah, $230,000 total.
It must have been pretty damaged, though.
Yeah.
That he had to put that much money into it. It says a lot.
Well, it's a freaking ship. A ship nowadays is worth millions. You don't just go out and buy a ship for $200,000. No. You can barely even buy a dinghy for $200,000. Some cars are worth $200,000.
I mean, if you have a sporty car,
Yeah, like the Tahoe is like, the base model for Tahoes now are like almost $100,000. Some of them can go up to like $120,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 just for a fucking car.
That's too much for a car. I would never pay that much for a car.
I
could be like a billionaire.
There are houses.
I would still not buy a car that much money.
If I was a billionaire, I would.
I wouldn't, because I don't care about cars. Now, I might buy a private jet so I can fly wherever the fuck I want to go.
For sure.
But I don't care about a car.
So, after Haynes restored the ship, he changed her name to the Mary Celeste. McBeam was listed as the captain, and what's interesting is I didn't realize that when you register a ship, you have to register the captain as well.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I thought that it could, I could own a ship, and then I could be like, hey, why don't you captain it now?
Yeah,
I thought it could just change captains like that.
Like, if you own a car, you could have anybody drive it.
Yeah,
if they have a license.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I even have it, like, driving a car.
Okay, yeah.
I totally thought that, but from what I was gathered and read, and as I looked more into this, you have to have, like, a captain. And that is who's in charge of the boat. And you can't have anybody else unless you re-register it.
Okay.
And maybe laws have changed now. Maybe it's not the same. I have no idea. But it was just like from what I understand from reading it, and I thought it was really weird. So not even a year later, McBeam went under financially, bankrupt, and lost the Mary Celeste.
Wow, that's so unfortunate. He put all that money into it.
And then he lost it.
I wonder if that's why he went bankrupt, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, yeah.
He sunk all of his money into his ship.
Did, and then all the creditors
sunk.
And all the creditors came for him, and and took the boat back. So then she was then sold to a New York business group ran by James H. Winchester, who maintained half ownership for the remainder of not the ship's life, but during this portion of the ship. So there was 12 shares total, and he always maintained at least 6 of the shares.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because it's always a group of people that own the ship.
Yeah, they invest.
It's an investment, yeah. So in 1872, they renovated the ship, made it much larger. The length was now 103 feet, 25 feet wide, 16 feet deep, and they even added a second deck.
Oh, okay.
So they massively made it bigger. They replaced the timbers and, like, they just did that maintenance stuff, you know, just, like, repaint the walls, like, you know, just like made it...
Total renovation.
Yeah, renovated it, made it all good. With all the renovations, the ship got a new captain named Benjamin Briggs, who was born to a sea captain. He had 4 brothers who were, another one became a sea captain. His dad was a sea captain. He was, like, born and bred to be a captain of a ship. Like, that is what his family did. So okay. He was very familiar with how to captain a ship. He was very familiar with the ways of the water and the ways of how to do everything. He married his cousin Sarah.
Why?
Don't
marry your cousin.
I guess in 1872, it was chill to marry your cousin. He had his own personal schooner called the Forest King. Oh. They had 2 children, Arthur, born September 1865, and Sophia Matilda, born October 1870. Isn't that the cutest name ever?
That is cute, yeah.
It was in 1872 that Briggs became captain of the Mary Celeste. And in October 1872, the first voyage of the Mary Celeste, after being refurbished, was planned. Captain Briggs got to hand-pick his crew and was able to bring his wife and his 2-year-old daughter with him. He left Arthur, the 7-year-old, at home with Grandma so he wouldn't miss school.
Okay, that makes sense, but I was thinking, why bring a 2-year-old? Because you know they're going to hate it on the ship.
Yeah, but also they, I'll get into it later, but, like, this isn't just like nowadays where we're going on a cruise for a week and back. This takes months back then.
That's why they couldn't bring the older one.
Yeah, because he would literally be missing like 6 months of school.
Yeah.
So then maybe that's why the 2-year-old, he didn't want to miss 6 months of the 2-year-old's life because that's a long time. I don't know.
I'm just thinking like, you know how 2-year-olds are, and
it would be a fucking nightmare.
I just don't see it. Well, I mean, they could have.
No, it would be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. Stuck on a boat with a 2-year-old.
Yeah. So both the captain and his wife both wrote home and talked about how great the crew was, and it would be like a good voyage. Everything was looking good. On October 20th, 1872, the Mary Celeste was being loaded. They put 1,701 barrels of alcohol in the ship's cargo.
Doesn't seem like enough.
And the ship was supposed to leave Tuesday, November 5th. However, Mother Nature had different plans. So they waited 2 more days until November 7th when the weather got a little better. They left New York and they were headed for Genoa, Italy. So there was 10 people on board, 7 crew, the 1 captain, captain's wife, and child.
Okay.
Meanwhile, in New Jersey, another ship, the De Gratia, was loading up petroleum and was also destined for Genoa, Italy. Oh. So that must have been like a really common port to go from New York to Genoa.
Okay, yeah. They must have been doing some kind of trading.
And I wonder if it's Genoa or Genoa.
I think it's Genoa.
I think it's Genoa too. Did I say Genoa the first time?
I think you said Genoa, but I think it is Genoa.
Yeah, I think it's Genoa too. So, however, this ship would leave 8 days after the Mary Celeste. So they're already like a week behind. Mm-hmm. So they shouldn't see each other in the open waters.
It happened again.
Dude!
It's a ghost story. And
my hair ties keep falling out.
She has the cutest little pigtails in. And
I used the little, like, rubber pigtail, like, the little rubber
bands,
the
elastics.
Yeah, the ones for little
elastics.
kids. They're my nieces that I bought for her when she's here. And they keep popping out.
So, this already happened earlier when I picked her up at her house on the way here.
I was freaked
She was
out.
actually telling me a different ghost story. And as she was telling me the ghost story, it literally popped out. And I was like, oh my gosh, the ghost just pulled your pigtail out. We have to somehow incorporate this in the podcast. And we're like, no, we're not going to say anything. And it fucking happened again.
To the other side. So now, yeah.
It's the ghost stories.
Oh my gosh, I'm so spooked out.
Does that mean the studio's haunted?
It could be by the same ghost, because this is the same person that built our house, built this. Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
Or it followed us. It followed you.
Maybe.
Pigtails.
My pigtails. Okay, so back to this. So the De Gratia is leaving 8 days after Mary Celeste. The two captains knew each other. It was a smaller world back then. I mean, even now, really, like, just in the machining world, everybody knows each other.
Yeah,
like,
it's like in the dental world, everybody knows.
Yeah,
everyone.
so I would imagine back then, how many captains really are there? It's probably just like flight attendants, pilots. They all know each other, you know.
Yeah.
So they knew that they were both headed in like the same direction, and that will come up later. So something to keep in mind while we get into dates and such is that in the late 1800s, it could take up to 3 months to cross the Atlantic, depending on weather, or as short as 6 weeks.
Wow.
So it takes a while. It's not like nowadays where a big ass cargo ship can do it in like a few days, a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
And also there was no communication with the outside world whatsoever, because Morse code wasn't even invented until 1896.
They didn't even have Morse code?
No, and it wasn't required in ships until 1910. So there was, like, no communication. All they had was what they could see, like, physically, and they had about a 6 mile, like, they could see about 6 miles out, and that's it.
Wow.
So everything that they did had to be, like, with a compass.
What
or,
about
like,
pigeons? That's back when they would have pigeons.
I guess. But either way, like, there's not instant communication.
Yeah, but how are they going to send a pigeon across the sea, though?
Yeah.
I think that's more like a city thing, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know. The only thing I think of is a pigeon.
All I think
I know they did that.
All I think of is whenever we're like, we should send a pigeon from your house to mine and see how long it takes. We have not done that yet.
Wouldn't we even be able to do that?
We could if we found the right pigeon. So anyways, on December 4th, 1872, at around 1 p.m., the De Gratia spotted a ship in the distance. Captain Morehouse was concerned when he noticed the ship's sails and the way the ship was moving. The sails were all like messed up, and the ship was kind of moving erratically. So the Mary Celeste was getting closer to the De Gratia, and Captain Morehouse saw no one on board, no signs of life, nothing. So he caught up to the Mary Celeste.
Oh wow!
8 days after they should not have caught up to each other.
Yeah, and it was only 8 days.
It was 8 days later. Like, they left 8 days
so
after
that. So
they
apart.
should be 8
There's
days apart.
There's an 8 day gap.
There should be.
It should be.
And
okay,
they left on, I should have had this written down. I cannot believe I didn't have this written down. So they left on November 7th. Yeah, November 7th. And this was December 4th. So it was about 3 weeks later.
Okay.
4 weeks later.
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever he saw that there was no signs of life and nothing was like happening on board, he sent 2 of his own crew to check it out. They reported that it was in fact the Mary Celeste. No one was on board. There was 1 lifeboat missing. 3 feet of water was in the ship, like on the cargo hold, and all the masts, what was left of the mast, were all in disarray. Ropes were swinging and loose. It was just a disastrous mess.
Yeah.
They found the ship's daily log. The last entry was 9 days prior on November 25th at 8 a.m. and 400 nautical miles from where they were now.
Oh, they were
way
off course.
The ship went 400 miles by itself. A ghost ship.
Oh, they must have been off course. They must have been on course if they caught up to them. Because they were going the same course.
Yeah, they were going.
So how did it even keep the same course?
Yeah, exactly. It's weird.
So
nothing was taken from the boat. So no like personal effects, nothing except navigational tools and some of the paperwork. Okay. Other than that, all of their like personal items were still there. All the alcohol was still there. There was still 6 months worth of food, water, everything.
Wow.
It did not look to be like there was a fire. There wasn't any sign of like a fight or a struggle. Like nothing. It just gone.
Disappeared.
Yeah. Like, why would they leave a good ship? Like, what was going on?
And where would they go? They're in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. So they brought the ship into port, and where they would get a portion of the value of what goods were left on the ship. So the alcohol was worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they would actually end up getting a pretty good amount of money as like a finder's fee, like a reward, like thanks for bringing it in, because it could have been a total loss if you didn't find it. So it was a law back then that if you found a ship and you brought it back, then the insurance would cover you and pay you out a portion of like, hey, thanks, because now I don't have to pay for the whole thing. It was like, it was kind of like
like a reward.
It was a reward, but it was like, so that way the insurance wouldn't have to pay like the full 100,000. They just give you like 20,000, and like it was an incentive.
Yes,
incentive. That's So in order to do this, though, there would have to be a salvage court hearing. So and this was all taking place over in Italy. Or not in Italy, it was somewhere in between Italy and here, obviously, but it was over in Europe.
So does it depend on where it's found and what waters? Like what country the water belongs to?
It's
like
just
territory?
whatever port, from what I understand, whatever port the ship brings it to, that's where the curing is. It's like it's a worldwide law thing. It's a worldwide thing. It's not just like an American or whatever, because
would that be called maritime
laws? That's what I was just gonna say. Maritime laws, I think, are different. Like they have their own set of laws. So the judge 100% believed that there was foul play, and he would not like change his mind on this. An investigator claimed there were cuts on each side of the ship that was done by something sharp, and that there was very like unlikely that it would be weather caused.
Oh, cuts.
Yeah, like sharp. Yeah,
like a knife. Or something.
But it would obviously have to be something bigger because it's a boat, not a fucking piece of bread.
I'm just trying to think of like what could, if there was something in the ocean, like an animal that could have done that. Yeah, I don't know.
So,
or another ship.
Another claim was that supposedly there was blood on the captain's sword. Ooh, right?
Oh, yeah. Maybe he had to fight something.
And then another weird thing is that the ship could not have encountered bad weather, as there was a vial of sewing machine oil still upright, which bad weather would have like definitely like knocked over. Okay. But somebody could have come along and put it back up when they were like the crew or something. You know what I mean? It had been through so many hands. And
cleaned up the spill or something. Yeah.
The Mary Celeste was finally released. So to the owner, Winchester had to go to Europe to be like, I want my fucking ship back.
Oh, yeah. That's
and he had to like, he had to like go over there to be like, I want my fucking ship back. And they wouldn't let him. So he had to wait for months.
Oh my gosh.
In Europe somewhere, wherever this was taking place, it was Gibraltar. So he had to go to the port of Gibraltar to get her and attend all the court hearings and do all the bullshit. So luckily he brought a new captain and crew with him. So they could finish the trip.
He would have to, because the other one
get the alcohol there.
And the alcohol.
Get the alcohol to where it needs to go. It needs to get to Genoa. Morehouse got a salvage reward of $1,700. Some say it should have been more because it was the standard would be about 20% of whatever it was insured for. It was insured for $46,000. Oh, but they say that the judge, because the judge really thought that it was foul play, and they thought that maybe the judge was certain that it was actually Morehouse himself that was the demise of Briggs and his crew. That Morehouse went on board because he knew, fucked up, like did everything so he could get the reward money.
Oh, I found it. Oh, yeah. That didn't even cross my mind.
So that's what the judge thought was something like that.
I mean, it's very plausible. I can see that.
And so that's why the judge didn't grant him the full 20%, because he should have gotten like $10,000, which is
a lot of money back then.
$250,000 for back then. Mm-hmm. You know, he should have at least gotten it would have been more than that, probably close to $15,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because, I mean, there's no witnesses. Well, what about his crew? They would all have to be... They would have to be part of it and get a cut. They would have to get a cut.
So, yeah, and then there was another theory along with that Briggs and his crew was in on it too.
But what about the family?
So let's go through the conspiracies. I'm kind of
getting
ahead of myself.
So they could have maybe not killed them. They could have, maybe they live on an island somewhere.
Exactly.
Okay.
But they didn't get enough. But then the question then remains, okay, so let's take Briggs out of the picture. He wasn't involved in it, and they killed him and dumped him off board or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, my first thought
How would the De Gratia get to the Celeste? Mary Celeste
fast.
And Mary Celeste was faster than the Degrassi.
So then he
it'd be
must have stopped. He had to have stopped and anchored, allowed them.
And waited. So he had to be part of it.
But then why bring your kid with you? If you already know that's the plan, why bring your kid and your wife?
What? So they can live on an island by themselves.
But what about the son? You never see the son again? The son carries on the name in case something goes haywire.
I don't know. But that was another thing. Why would he leave his son?
Yeah.
So...
carry on the name in case it all goes south.
Yeah. So
that's the only thing I can think of.
Another thing was insurance fraud. That Winchester had a lot of insurance, almost over too much insurance on it. Yeah. However, Winchester himself never claimed any insurance. There were no claims ever made other than the finder's fee for the dude. Like, that he wasn't like, he never made a claim for like the damage done to the boat or anything.
That's odd.
So
if there's such a high claim, why would you not claim it if there is damage? And...
yeah. So that takes that out.
Yeah.
Pirates.
Oh yeah, there's pirates.
But there was nothing pilfered through. Nothing was gone.
Oh, they still had the alcohol.
The alcohol was there.
Valuable.
And then I guess that there was like jewelry, like the wife had like things, personal effects, like jewelry and stuff on the ship
that were still there.
And if it was pirates, they would have pilfered through shit, and there was nothing pilfered through. Nothing. Mm-hmm. It looked like they had left on their own accord in an orderly fashion.
And she wouldn't have taken any of that stuff with her because then it would be like evidence that. Well, no, because then it could have been piracy.
Yeah.
They could have claimed piracy if she did take it with her.
So what... But
why wouldn't she take something then?
Exactly. So what happened to them? So what they're saying could have happened, another theory. There's lots of different theories. So explosions from the alcohol could have been one. That the captain had written in the logbook about different weird noises and bumps that had happened below. I guess that when alcohol is like that, especially back then, they under pressure and stuff like that, I guess that it like explodes little bits. And so in the logbook he had written about little explosions that they had heard.
Okay.
So what if like a bigger explosion happened, they kind of freaked out, they left.
But there was no evidence of a fire or anything.
No.
Wouldn't there be burn marks from an explosion?
Maybe. Or it was just like settling type stuff, like releasing the gases and stuff.
So maybe they thought that they were going to get off of it before it actually exploded.
Like, so they got off of it, and maybe even just to get off of it, just to see what happened. And then they got cut from the Mary Celeste by accident or whatever. Or they try to get away from it, and then all of a sudden, like
in a dinghy or something.
Yeah, and well, they were in a lifeboat. The lifeboat was missing. Yeah, and the Mary Celeste went, like a big gust of wind came and took the Mary Celeste away, and they were stuck in the Atlantic by themselves with nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. So the only thing would be like, because the lifeboat rope was cut, it wasn't untied. So if they had gone out in like a really orderly fashion and not in a hurry, they would have untied the lifeboat rope.
Yes.
And put it down instead of cut it. So that...
But they were in a hurry.
They were in a hurry because they thought that the boat might explode. Mm-hmm. Right? So Briggs was like we've said, seasoned sailor, born and bred to do this shit. Mm-hmm. So he wouldn't have panicked and abandoned the ship, like, under those particular circumstances. But the fact that his family, his child was on board, his emotional state could have taken over.
True.
And he could have just been like, nope, we're going to do this because my baby's on board and we need to, like, save the kid.
Like,
right?
we need to get out of here now.
So, then, another theory is that Briggs believed that they were sinking because there was 3.5 feet of water in the cargo hold, which apparently isn't that big of a deal.
Well, remember when we went on the Midway?
Yeah.
We couldn't go all the way down to, I think, at 7th or 8th deck because it was water.
Yeah. So I guess that having 3.5 feet on, like, the bottom isn't a big deal. And there's also pumps and stuff to pump everything out. Mm-hmm. What's interesting is that one of the pumps was disassembled. Like, it was broken.
Oh, that's strange.
But is it? because it had just been refurbished.
Oh,
and the last haul that they did was of coal. So between the sawdust and the coal dust and everything, it could have clogged up the pumps, the water pumps, to get the water out.
Oh, okay.
So he might have been trying to fix it. Then they also have a sounding rod, which is a device that tests how much the water a boat has taken on.
Okay.
And the sounding rod could have malfunctioned. And he couldn't see really what was down there because of the cargo hold. The cargo hold was filled with all these barrels that he couldn't actually see, like, how...
You couldn't visually...
Yeah, he couldn't visually see how high the water really was. So if the sounding rod was off, like, was malfunctioned, then it might say that there's 30 feet and rising or something, and he would want to get off the boat that's sinking, right?
Got it, yeah.
And so so he might have thought that the condition was just more dire than it really was, and so they went on the lifeboat. Then on the lifeboat, the ship sailed away without them, or they died on the lifeboat.
Or who knows?
Yeah. You know.
Lost at sea, or maybe
another
found an island maybe and survived a little bit. Who knows?
So, well, what's interesting is that there's a theory also that he saw that the boat was taking on water, even if he was concerned that the boat was going to sink or explode or whatever was going on with it. His last position put him 6 miles from Azores Island, which puts where the last log is.
There was an island.
There was an island, and he would know that that would be the last island for hundreds of miles. So it's like if you're worried about anything, this is the time to leave.
Okay, so
and
he
get off.
knew where that was,
and he could have seen the land, and he could have been headed there on the lifeboat.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, like I believe that
would make sense. But why wouldn't he update the logbooks to be like, "Hey, found island, leaving boat, see y'all later."
I mean,
BRB. Out to lunch. Be right back. Be back in 20 minutes.
We're sinking. Because if they were sinking, there would be no logbook to find if it was under the ocean.
No, because a lot of times there's logbooks and they put them in like waterproof containers, so then that way when they find the ship later,
they do find it.
Yeah, because that happens. I mean, I don't know if that happened then or if that's happening now. Because now we are finding the ships. I don't know if they actually found them back then.
Who knows?
That you would think
I'm
that
sure
far
that
ahead.
They would probably have that thought even back then. Be like, okay, so if we do go down, we have to have a system in place that they can figure out what happened to us.
Yeah.
You know, so
like
their version of a black box or something.
Yeah, exactly. So, so this one's interesting because this theory incorporates fucking science.
I love science.
I love science.
And sci-fi.
I mean, I don't understand science to save my goddamn life, but I like reading about it. So Anne McGregor and Phil Richardson used science, oceanography, historical weather data, and Briggs' logbooks to try and pinpoint his exact course. They believe Briggs' chronometer was not working right, as he should have seen land 3 days prior than when he did see it, and that he was actually 120 miles west from where he logged he was. So he was like lost 120 miles. So if his navigational tools aren't working, then he wouldn't know where he was anyways.
Okay, yeah.
What they found interesting is the day before they left the ship, they started heading in a different direction, headed north of Santa Maria Island, suggesting that they were already looking to get to land. So, so obviously, like, they already knew something was wrong with the boat, maybe.
Oh yeah, they're searching for land. They're trying to find a safety net.
Yeah, so that could have been what happened, and that goes back to they saw the land. They're going towards land. Alcohol fumes. 9 barrels of the alcohol were empty. So maybe they spilled out, and there's like all these alcohol fumes. Maybe the fumes got toxic, or they were concerned of an impending explosion from everything leaking out. So they left the Mary Celeste temporarily until the fumes would clear out. But somehow they got disconnected and watched the Mary Celeste float away.
Because 9 barrels, they would not have consumed that much alcohol in that short of a time. I would imagine.
In 3 weeks?
9 barrels. I mean, how much is a barrel?
Put 8 Brads on there. What do you think?
I mean, a barrel, that's like a keg, right? About? Like,
Yeah,
approximately?
that would be a keg per person. Or no, I think it's bigger than a keg. I think a barrel's huge. That's like a 50-gallon drum is a barrel.
So how are they going to go through 9 in 3 weeks?
I'm mathing. Hold on.
3 weeks,
50,
right?
yeah.
Approximately.
21 days, 50 gallons. That'll be 2 gallons per person per day, including the wife. Wives didn't drink back then.
Well,
yeah,
maybe
no.
she would if she was on a ship.
Yeah, dealing with a
2-year-old
2-year-old.
stuck out in the middle of the ocean with all these men that
Oh my god, that are probably trying to pillage her. So, anyways, another theory is environmental factors like a sea quake, earthquakes, water sprouts. And I was like, what the fuck would a water sprout do? Apparently, it changes the equilibrium of the the ship. Mm-hmm. So it'll so you might get the feeling that the ship is going to turn over.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's already rocky, and then it feels like it's gonna flip over.
Yeah, so maybe something environmental, like something weather related, to make everyone believe that they were in imminent danger and they gotta go, and that's why the rope was cut. Whatever happened, it was a quick but not forceful exit.
And
it was orderly in a quick way.
Blood. I was thinking about the blood on the sword, right?
Yeah.
What about for he could have been cutting fish? Yeah. How do we know it's human blood?
They didn't have DNA back then. They have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could have been a shark. It could have been anything. Yeah.
Fish or something they were eating or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, and then of course the theory that they were abducted by aliens because fucking aliens, dude.
Aliens? I don't know about that one, but I like the idea. But I mean, I guess if there was aliens, there would always be aliens.
Yeah, aliens helped do the pyramids, and that was way before the Mary Celeste.
But why would the dinghy be cut?
Yeah, no, I know, but it's
maybe
always...
the aliens took the alcohol. So they're we're taking you and your booze.
So with all that shit, you would think that they would decommission the fucking Mary Celeste. This is a bad fucking cursed ass ship.
Yeah, it's been through a lot already.
Yeah. And my phone keeps going off and I am so sorry. I need to turn it on to silence. There we go. Okay. So
why wasn't it decommissioned?
Hold on really quick.
Oh.
Because now I'm thinking about what Brandon is saying.
Okay, so now I can say hi to people.
Say hi. I'm going to make a call really quick. See. One of my employees just texted me.
Hi, Joey. Hi, Janessa. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Tony. Hi, David. Hi, Rudy. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Marty. Joy.
Hey,
hi, Jose.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening, and thank you for saying that you're enjoying our story, and I hope that you have a good day at work.
It's called the Census. Do you know the name? Okay, ASC. Okay. Well,
thank you so much.
They're telling me to refer to a September 15th
they can hear him.
email that I went through my email.
They could probably hear him. I can hear him clear as day. I'll just talk to you so you can't hear what they're talking about.
I don't know either. I don't know why it's not working.
We don't know why it's not working.
Just say that you forgot your password or something. Did you go through all that? The username?
I don't know what to say. We can do some.
That's so weird because for me, I can use my past for the employer.
We're gonna open a highlighter.
Heather, this is not attached to that. This only goes to there. Sorry.
I don't know.
Heather's just being stupid.
I tried.
Why?
This is not on.
So you're okay. Well, that sounds interesting. You're trying to close them all down or convert them all into ours?
What are they doing? Let's have a coffee break together.
Okay, are you coming to work tomorrow? Okay, well, we'll talk then. I'm doing my podcast thing, and until we're physically together, at a computer, I don't know what I can do for you. To be honest, I paused the podcast. In fact, you're live right now.
You're live. We can hear you.
Yeah, if you do, yeah, everybody can hear you. So No, I don't think they can hear you, but
I think they can.
I turned down the sound. But anyways, okay. Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. Okay, bye. Sorry, I saw the fucking, I read what he wrote, and I was like, ugh, I have to deal with this.
I was like trying to do ASMR.
I know, I saw you, and I was like, you're an idiot. This isn't even connected.
I don't know. And then I'm doing like my hidden talent.
That's cute. That'll be our cover.
I didn't know what to do because I couldn't really talk because you were talking, so I was just like...
All right, let's get back to this.
I'll just drink coffee, I guess.
All right, so where was I at? Oh, yeah.
Decommissioned. Why was it not decommissioned? Why do you guys think it wasn't decommissioned? Put it in the comments.
Okay, so with all that bad juju shit that's already happened, you would think that they would definitely decommission this ship, right?
I would think so, yeah.
Oh, no. She kept going. She had cargo to haul. Not only did she finish that, but finish her one trip to Italy. In June 26th, 1873, she finally finished her cargo haul and unloads the alcohol and leaves Genoa, Italy. So, mind you, they left in November. This is now June the following year. September 19th, 10 months later, arrives back in New York. 10 months!
Wow.
Because of all the court proceedings and everything.
That's a long time.
Well, they lost 10 crew members. I mean, they lost 10 people along the way.
Oh, yeah. So somebody has to be accountable for that.
Yeah. So people were weary about her and had their reservations, obviously. So she sat in the wharf for a couple months until Winchester sold her to another New York businessman at a tremendous loss. The new owners had her sailing the Indian Ocean routes, but bad luck was still looming. In February 1879, she was at St. Helena Island when doctors had to come on board because the captain, Edgar Tuthill, had become sick and then proceeded to die on the island. That was the third captain to die on the ship.
Just to decommission it already.
Right? It's a fucking cursed ship. February 1880, she was sold again to a group of Bostonians.
Man, she was passed around.
God, she's like a little whore. Sold to a group of Bostonians with Wesley Gove in charge.
I've never heard anyone refer to a ship as a whore.
Well, let me tell you. Thomas L. Fleming was the new captain until 1884. Then Gilman C. Parker took over. What's interesting is that she was registered in several different ports before returning to Boston. But in all those ports, she never once made any sort of voyage. She just kept being registered in different ports. So I'm like, what was really going on? What shady shit was going on? The owner, Gove, tried really hard to make her successful. People couldn't, quite get past that whole curse thing.
Yeah.
So, that would be like getting the Titanic out of the water and be like, let's go set sail again, guys.
Yeah, I mean, if I wouldn't want to captain that ship. I would be like, do you have another one of those?
No.
Is there anything else?
So anyways, fed up with his lack of success, Gove decided to fill her up with useless goods and lie on the manifest and insure it as if there was gold on board.
Oh.
Okay. Then he was gonna crash it.
He's getting tricky.
The bitch won't go down. The whore will not go down.
She's
Everything,
you're not taking me alive.
Everything went according to plan. They crashed her on a shore, on a shore, and claimed insurance. Sold the salvage ship for $500 to a local man.
Wow, it's really going down now, $500.
Except one minor problem. The local they sold it to told everyone what was actually in the cargo.
Why would he do that? Doesn't that fuck him too?
No, because he thought that he was buying it with the cargo being expensive. So he thought he was getting a deal.
Oh, okay.
Insurance investigators came and looked at everything and figured out what Gove had done. July 1885, Captain Parker was charged with conspiracy to commit insurance fraud, and Parker was charged with willfully casting away the ship. Punishable at that time by death.
No.
I swear.
Death?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh.
Jurors couldn't agree on a verdict, so they allowed the men to withdraw all their insurance claims and give back the money, and Parker was freed. 3 months later...
Got off pretty easy then.
Yeah, except his what's it called? Reputation was to shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
nobody
you would
believed
have
him. Nobody wanted to put him on anything. Like, he was just pretty much useless.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 months later, Parker died in poverty.
He died?
He died.
Wasn't...
Just died.
Oh.
Of, they don't say of what. Just died. They just said died in poverty.
Okay.
One of his conspirators went crazy and another one killed himself. So even the ship's still taking lives.
Yeah.
So what happened to the Mary Celeste after that? Nobody really knows. She was left washed ashore, sinking, partially rotting. And now that location is empty, and they think that they found her a couple times, but when they go to, like, look at the wood, they find out it's not. It couldn't possibly be
So it
her.
vanished.
Yeah, so it might have washed back into the depths of the sea. It probably just rotted away and went back.
And wait, where was the last known place?
It was off the shore of,
Sorry, I know
it's
you
okay.
said it, but...
No, I don't think I did say it. I don't even have it listed. I don't know why I don't have it listed. But it was, I think that it was off the shore of, like, Puerto Rico. It was down in, like, the Gulf of Mexico.
Totally different place.
Yeah. Wow. So that's where I thought it was. Hold on, let me make sure. I don't want to lie to you. Hold on.
No, I just,
I totally forgot to look it up. Or I forgot to, like, write it down. It was
I don't
there.
know why I'm like, because I'm thinking maybe we can look on Google Maps and try to see something. Or, I mean, not right now, but, like, I wanted to try to look.
Okay.
And see what we can see.
Okay, wait. Captain into a reef.
Or maybe it's not disclosed.
No, it would be. Yeah, it's so long ago. Hold on, I'm on Discovery. Oh, and then my references while I'm here. While I'm thinking about it, my references. Oh, I need to wait until I'm back on there, but I just don't want to forget. Okay.
I'll remind her.
Okay.
ASMR.
Okay, believed to have put in a... All it keeps saying is in a reef.
Oh, so it
Hold
doesn't
on.
say specifically.
Last
known.
Where was the Mary Celeste purposely crashed reef? Between the Ganavi Island and the mainland. So that is in
Bermuda. It's everything saying Bermuda.
Bermuda. Shut up. Oh, it's in Haiti.
Oh.
Haiti.
Just kidding.
Yeah, that was it. Okay. So let me...
Because I'm like, the Bermuda Triangle.
Okay, hold on. Okay. We're going to go back to recording over here now. Okay. So its last known location was in Haiti. That is where Captain Parker crashed her on the reef along Haiti. So...
It would be very interesting to see if we could go on Google Maps and try to look around that area, but... I don't know.
I'm sure other people have done that already.
It's sunken now, you wouldn't even be able to.
Or it would just be totally dilapidated because it's already been 150 years.
Yeah, but something would remain. There would be like the anchor would be there, metal. Yeah, that stuff would stay. Yes,
I don't know.
It would. The wood would, but like, the wood would. The woodchuck could chuck wood, but not the anchor and the.
Yeah, they just...
Cannons? Did it have cannons on it?
It was a merchant ship.
Oh, it didn't have any cannons.
It didn't have any cannons.
Maybe the barrels. There might be some metal around the barrels.
Yeah.
That might be there.
I don't know. They said that they thought that they had found it once, and they were almost positive. But some of the timber on it, like wood that was found with it, came from a tree in Chicago that was cut down 10 years after she disappeared.
How did they pinpoint a tree in Chicago? Like, what?
I don't know, but that was forensics later, like recently.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That they can pinpoint that it's like
That's
a
like
tree in Chicago.
Yeah, have you ever seen forensic files though? They'll find a little tiny like this. They keep like a fiber and be like, "Oh, well this sweater was only mailed to 3 people in San Diego where her body was found. So therefore, one of these 3 people had to be in the same location where the body was." I'm serious. Like,
no, I know. I'm laughing because it's true. Because it's
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this fiber was only made in China at on this day.
From this factory.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, anyways, that is the ghost ship of Mary Celeste. What do you guys think happened? Let us know.
Please do.
And email us with any of your phenomenal fan encounters. Have you seen a ghost ship? Dun, dun, dun. You know what movie I like is Ghost Ship.
Oh, that one, it starts out gnarly.
It starts out with them
it's just
cutting.
like
Yeah. No, that one was a really good one. But through my ghost ship findings, a real ghost ship can only stay at sea for a few years before it just, without any maintenance and stuff, it just sinks, like rots away and sinks and going through weather and stuff. So I was like super disappointed because I thought that there would be like a bunch of ghost ships out in the wild.
I mean, they're still pirates, so they could, if they find them, they could just take them.
Yeah.
And be like, I guess nobody wants this, so it's mine now.
Yeah, salvage, whatever, yeah. So, okay, well, thank you guys so much for listening. Sources. And I totally forgot to tell you my sources. And they are the Smithsonian Magazine article, Abandoned Ship, the Mary Celeste by Jess Blomberg, published November 2007. MuseumHack.com article, What Really Happened to the Mary Celeste by Alex Johnson, November 20th, 2022. History.com, What Happened to the Mary Celeste by Sarah Pruitt on July 21st, 2015. Britannica, Mary Celeste, written by Amy Tikkanen, last updated September 8th, 2023. And thank you guys so much for listening, and have a great, wonderful day.
Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.
And bye.
Bye. I tried to do it with you. I'm all bye.
It worked. It worked, though. Look, this is good. I only have to edit this little bit, which is totally
That's not bad at all.
Fucking Brandon.
I was like, should I stop the live? Because I can hear him. What he was saying. I mean, it wasn't anything bad.
I think he was just talking about his 401k.
No, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was just like, he's on the live right now.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to muffle it with this, but...
That doesn't, no.
That was a fail.
Yeah, but, yeah. I have employees and they call me about things like their 401k and accessing it.
I mean,
that's what he's trying to do, and I'm like, I can't help you until I see you. You're not even at work right now. So, even if I was at work... I still couldn't help you because...
He knows Wednesdays are podcast days.
I know! I was like, go on the live. You're on the live right now. Like...
He's like, I don't care about your podcast. I want my money and I want it now. No.
Yeah.
I want to look at my money.
So, okay, well, I guess that's the end of our live. We are going to come back and just talk about one more thing, and then we are out of here, dude.
We are out.
Outie. I need to go get my kid because he is sick at work right now. In my office, destroying it, I'm sure.
And what do I need to do? I need to prepare for work tomorrow.
Are you not going to hang out with me?
Well, I mean, I can, yeah.
Okay, good.
I can.
It's our day to hang out.
Yeah, I know. But I do have to prepare for work tomorrow.
What do you have to prepare? Laundry?
I have to emotionally get ready for work tomorrow. I have to work tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.